It's just a kid's show until it teaches you how to be a better parent. I thought I was watching my daughter laugh at cartoon dogs playing make-believe. I had no idea I was about to receive the most profound parenting lesson of my life, delivered by a 6-year-old animated character who would completely change how I see my role as a father. The setup? Let me set the scene for you. Bumpy and the Wise Old Wolfhound opens with Bingo in a hospital bed, facing an overnight stay that has her visibly upset about not being able to go home. As a parent, this immediately grabbed me by the throat because we've all been there, watching our child in distress and feeling completely helpless to fix their world. But here's where the Healer family does something that most of us would never think to do. Instead of relying on empty reassurances or distractions, Bandit and Bluey create something extraordinary. A homemade video specifically designed to meet Bingo exactly where she is emotionally. They don't try to minimize her fear or rush her through the difficult feelings. Instead, they craft a story that acknowledges her reality while providing genuine comfort. The video they created tells the tale of Barnacus, a young girl on a quest to heal her sick dog named Bumpy. What seems like a simple children's story is actually a masterpiece of therapeutic communication. Every element of this makeshift production serves a deeper purpose that most adults would miss entirely. Bluey, playing Barnacus, encounters various characters who offer different approaches to healing Bumpy. Some suggest quick fixes, others provide temporary distractions, but none of these superficial solutions actually address the core issue. The genius lies in how the story mirrors exactly what Bingo is experiencing: the uncertainty, the fear, the desire for everything to just go back to normal. But then came the moment that stopped me cold as a parent. Wise Old Wolfhound's revelation. When Barnacus finally reaches the Wise Old Wolfhound, played beautifully by Aunt Trixie, she doesn't receive a magical cure or false promises that everything will be fine immediately. Instead, she hears something profound and honest. Everyone gets sick sometimes, and it's just a part of life. This single line delivered more therapeutic value than years of therapy could provide because it does something revolutionary. It validates the reality of suffering while placing it in a context that makes it manageable. The Wolfhound doesn't lie to Barnacus about the nature of the illness or promise outcomes she can't guarantee. She simply acknowledges that difficulty is a universal human experience. As I watched this unfold, I realized I had been approaching my own child's fears and illnesses completely wrong. Parenting wake-up call. For years, whenever my daughter faced something difficult, whether it was a scraped knee, a scary movie, or anxiety about school, my instinct was to immediately jump into fix-it mode. I'd minimize her concerns with phrases like, "It's not that bad," or "Don't worry about it," or "Everything will be fine." I thought I was being reassuring, but what I was actually doing was invalidating her emotional experience. The Wise Old Wolfhound showed me that there's a profound difference between empty reassurance and authentic comfort. Empty reassurance tries to make the difficult feelings go away quickly. Authentic comfort acknowledges that the feelings are real and valid while providing a framework for understanding and coping with them. When the Wolfhound tells Barnacus that sickness is part of life, she's not being dismissive. She's providing perspective. She's saying, yes, this is hard and it's supposed to feel hard, and that's okay because everyone experiences this. Healing that actually heals. What happens next in the video is where the real magic occurs. Bumpy doesn't get better because of a magical potion or instant cure. Instead, the story shows that healing happens with time and love. These 4 words contain more wisdom about supporting someone through difficulty than most parenting books manage in hundreds of pages. Time acknowledges that healing is a process that can't be rushed. Love recognizes that the most powerful medicine we can offer is our presence and genuine care. Together, they create a framework for supporting someone through difficulty without trying to eliminate the difficulty itself. This completely revolutionized how I approach my daughter's challenges. The very next week after watching this episode, my daughter came home from school upset about a conflict with her best friend. My old approach would have been to immediately problem solve or minimize her feelings with something like, "I'm sure you'll work it out tomorrow." Instead, I found myself channeling the wise old wolfhound. I sat with her and said, "Friendship conflicts are really hard, and everyone experiences them sometimes. It makes sense that you're upset because you care about your friend." Then I simply stayed present with her in that difficult feeling without trying to rush her through it or fix it immediately. The difference in her response was remarkable. Instead of feeling like she had to defend her emotions or hide them from me, she felt safe to express them fully. We talked through her feelings, explored different perspectives, and she came up with her own solutions, all because I had learned to validate her experience instead of trying to eliminate it. Power of honest communication. What Bumpy and the wise old wolfhound teaches us is that children are far more capable of handling difficult truths than we give them credit for. The episode doesn't shy away from the reality of illness, fear, or uncertainty. Instead, it presents these challenges within a context that makes them manageable. Bingo isn't told that hospital stays are fun or that she shouldn't feel scared. Instead, she receives a story that acknowledges her reality while showing her that she's not alone in experiencing difficult things. The video validates her feelings while providing hope that healing happens, even if it takes time. This approach builds resilience rather than dependence. When we constantly shield our children from difficult emotions or rush to make everything better immediately, we inadvertently teach them that difficult feelings are dangerous and should be avoided. When we acknowledge those feelings while providing perspective and support, we teach them that they can handle whatever life brings their way. Before we continue, hit that subscribe button or you might not learn anything about parenting at all. Ripple effects. Since adopting this approach, I've noticed profound changes in my relationship with my daughter. She's more likely to come to me with problems because she knows I won't immediately try to minimize or fix them. She's developing better emotional regulation skills because she's learning that difficult feelings are temporary and manageable. Most importantly, she's building confidence in her own ability to navigate challenges. This isn't just about parenting through illness or major crises. This framework applies to everything from homework frustration to social anxiety to disappointment about canceled plans. By validating the emotion while providing perspective, we help our children develop the emotional intelligence they need to thrive throughout their lives. Broader lesson. Perhaps the most profound lesson from this episode is about the power of thoughtful presence. Bandit and Bluey don't just throw together a random video to distract Bingo from her hospital stay. They carefully craft something that speaks directly to her emotional needs at that moment. This level of intentional presence is something most of us struggle with in our fast-paced world. We're often so focused on moving through difficulties quickly that we miss opportunities to really connect with our children in their moments of need. The Healer family shows us that sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is slow down and meet our children exactly where they are. Why this matters more. In a world where children are increasingly dealing with anxiety, depression, and emotional overwhelm, the approach demonstrated in this episode becomes even more crucial. We're raising a generation that needs to know how to navigate difficult emotions rather than avoid them. When we validate our children's emotional experiences while providing perspective and support, we're teaching them skills that will serve them throughout their entire lives. We're showing them that they can trust their own emotional responses while also developing the resilience to work through challenges. Months after first watching this episode, I still find myself returning to the wise old wolfhound's wisdom whenever my daughter faces challenges. That simple acknowledgement, everyone experiences this sometimes and it's just part of life, has become my go-to framework for helping her navigate difficulties. What moments from children's shows have unexpectedly influenced your parenting? Share your experiences in the comments below. And don't forget to check out our other videos about Bluey.